Welcome to Let's Be Real 100%, where we are 100% real about life. We know that life happens and we are here to talk about it. And when I say we, I'm talking about it's all God and little old me. Join us as we jump into our topic today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real 100%. Sorry, y'all had to sit up. And we're 100% real about life, and we are definitely here to talk about it. This mosquito literally just bit me in the most uncomfortable spot on my toe. Anyway, so I was just on Instagram, right? And a lot of stuff has come to my mind due from the last episode that I posted about getting your smile back. I want to explain a little bit more, just by my testimony alone, because I realized, speaking on it, how deep it really went, right? And I would definitely love to hear your feedback. Like, I really, really would. So anyway, I was on Instagram, just talking like I always do. And this is how pretty much it went. Most of it stayed the same from the last episode, but I thought I would repost it just because, just to expand more on it. So getting your smile back, knowing that you can look in the mirror and smile says a lot. And for years, again, like I said before, I didn't have a smile. My smile vanished. It disappeared. It was shattered, right? And again, this is not to give the enemy no credit, because this is all God. This is all God. And so, anyway, my smile was shattered and disappeared, and it vanished. It just was not with me no more, right? And if it was like, sure enough, deep down within, that just was not worth digging up for me at the time. So again, from my story, if you don't know my story, I'm gonna give you a brief moment of it. Just the highlights. So in the beginning, a little girl, you're able to smile. You joke around, you play, as a little girl, because you have that life. You're living your best life. I had great parents. I had everything I needed, in school, making good grades, had good friends, so I had a reason to smile and be happy. I got in trouble here and there, whatever, but I was still smiling. So from there, from a little girl, around the age of 12, 13, 14-ish, in that area, when that time hormones come around and attitudes starting to change and things just start going haywire, right? Start getting introduced to boys and, wanting to live that life that my friends was living, because all I did was live church. I didn't really appreciate church at the time, because, that's what we did 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, literally. So it became, you got, burnt out. As a child, you really don't understand God as, the grown people did. You could have, but I just didn't. So anyway, 13, 14-ish, things started to change. And that's when my smile started to become, a straight line, like just blank, and from there, end up meeting a guy, getting pregnant in high school at the age of 16, had my first child, after I graduated high school. Sorry, I wasn't able to do anything because I was pulled out of band. I was pulled out of the college after school program that I was going to, once or twice a week. And so after I graduated, I had nothing to show for besides a baby. So right after high school, like literally the day of my graduation. Sorry, I'm in my car. So the day of my graduation, I literally was already packed. Not knowingly that I was packed, but I was packed. My stuff was already in my dad's truck, ready to head to Texas. So I really didn't get to say my, good, clear goodbyes. It was like, let's go, get back on the road tonight. So that night, it was the most longest, miserable drive to Texas. And they tried to make it, my brother tried to make it, fun. These things are going to change. You're going to have a good time. You'll be around family and all this other stuff. Just trying to make it, glittery and whatever. But I was miserable. Like, I had nothing. All I had was family. And everybody was older than me. Like, I had no friends. I had nothing. I came here with a baby. That's all I had. I had my son. And then now that we had to learn how to co-parent from across the states. So I can only imagine how hard that was going to be. Especially being a young mom. Not knowing nothing about parenthood. So after that, I got a job. Unfortunately, started sleeping around or whatever. Just trying to find something to fill the void that I had. So then after that, I got a job. I started going to ATI for medical assistant, thinking I was doing good, being on the right track and all this other stuff. Then after I graduated, I ended up moving into an apartment with some family, thinking that I was going, things were going to be okay. I'll be able to be a mom, take care of myself, pay my own bills, because I'm at an age of being grown. Not saying I was mentally grown, but I was at the age of being grown. So I wanted to be independent. So I ended up moving in with family. Was quite a disaster. Things went, forgive my French, things went to hell in that household. Things were blamed on me that I know I didn't do. Things were just happening like left and right, and I began to be called out of my name. People were calling. Somehow information got to my son's dad, saying he shouldn't be with me because I was sleeping around and doing this or whatever. So it was just just no after no after no. It was just being, and I was quite unhappy. That's all I can say. It was just true hell. And there was no way out. Like, everywhere I turned, it was something. It was always something. So anyway, I stepped out and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to show you what this name truly looks like, right? So I went out and I grabbed a random person off the bus. And I did that. And then, yeah. And then after that, I ended up in incest. We know incest is family upon family. That was a relationship from hell as well. Because all we did was fight. The person was controlling. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't look up. It was like, if I was to look up and look at a person, I got hit. It was one of those, and I wasn't that one that was going to, I wasn't going to be like, I was pregnant too. So again, I got pregnant by somebody I didn't know before that. So I was like 7 months pregnant or whatever. So yeah, and when we got home behind closed doors, we literally could have just killed each other because that's how much we fought. And so anyway, not to go into that depth. So anyway, I prayed and asked God to get me out. And that was one of those moments God made a way. He made a way in a strange way, but he made that way. My apartment ended up getting robbed. The clothes I had just bought, everything I had just bought got robbed. Like, my apartment was a disaster. Like, it was like a tornado and a hurricane hit it all at the same time. But that was my way out. So I ended up back with my parents. Had my son around the time of leaving the apartment. Then after that, I was 21 probably about this time. Something happened. I was trying to get my Social Security and my birth certificate and all that stuff. And as I was getting this, another person's name was on my Social Security, and it became an issue in the household with my dad. And a question popped up: was I his? So DNA happened, and that pretty much destroyed me again. I was done. Oh, you could stick a fork in me. I was so done. I chose to be homeless, and I started moving from shelter to shelter. And once I got from shelter to shelter, the opportunity was there when I was younger, but I didn't really just introduce it because I knew it was wrong. But at this time, I finally accepted the opportunity, accepted the persuasion of being a lesbian. So at this time, I'm, pursuing women, just being masculine, being womanizer, just pulling, just doing crazy stuff or whatever. And so living that life, trying to, again, fill this void that I could not seem to fill with men or with women. But I'm still yet, giving this the time of day. And so once I gave that the time of day continuously, I ended up staying with a teacher of mine, one of the best teachers, and one of my good, really, really good friends. I ended up staying with her. I started having body issues. Before I left the shelter, I started having flu-like symptoms, and I would be quarantined. Then when I moved with her, I started getting, warts and stuff like that. We're going to talk about real life. This is what it is. I started getting warts. I started getting, different kinds of things that was going on in my body. And I was just trying to figure this out. So they giving me suggestions what to do. And I did that, and it didn't go away. So I'm like, well, maybe I just need to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. The nurse asked me, she was like, oh, we're doing, STD, STI, testings today. Did you want to join? Did you want to do it? And I was like, oh, sure. I put my arm out there and was like, okay, not thinking nothing of it. And so I did that. Ended up getting a call 3 days later from the doctor saying, please, can you come in? And in my mind, I called my mom, and I was like, listen, when does a doctor ever call you back to come into the office, right? And so I went in, and then I sat on the little bed or whatever. I was nervous, but I'm like, it's nothing or whatever. I was, just getting those tests done while I was getting these warts, while these changes in my body. And she looks down at the paper. She started reading. My mom is standing next to me, trying to get her to hurry up. It's like one of those, the music that just happens when, you're waiting and you're waiting. You're like, okay, come on now, what's gonna happen next? So it was one of those moments. And she told me, well, quite unfortunately, ma'am, you have HIV/AIDS. And I'm sitting there like, you lied to me, honey. And I began to just wail. And my mom was like, no, that's a lie. She started praying immediately. And I'm just distraught. Like, I'm destroyed all over again. Like, what more can happen to me now? Like, come on now. And all I heard about HIV/AIDS is a death sentence. Like, they got all kinds of trials and medications and pills and just all this stuff that's going on around HIV, but it's really not spoken of. But it's real. So So I, anyway, got the test, ended up being HIV positive. I literally buried my life again. My smile is gone continuously. It's not there no more. It's just not even happening. Like, it couldn't even get a real good smile out of me because I was faking. Like, I faked the whole way through life. I knew how to play the part. I knew how to put those masks up. You know, those masks they have on those commercials with the little white smile, what they be carrying in their purses. I had all kinds of smiles. How masks and stuff I could put on. So I knew how to play the part. But yet on the inside, I'm destroyed. Like, I'm shattered. I'm shredded. It's over. And so after that, I ended up meeting a guy through my parents. We get married. 9 months later, had my baby boy. So I'm married with 3 boys. We at this church, newly diagnosed and pregnant. So I end up, the church that we were going to, I end up talking to the leader because the leader was my husband's father, spiritual father at the moment. And I never had a spiritual father before, so I felt like I could talk to him about anything. He was a real cool dude, like, I have no ought against him now. But at that time, I opened up to him and, became very vulnerable. But unfortunately, that next Sunday, my testimony was, like, literally on the pulpit. Like, I sat down and he was talking and I was like, oh my. And I'm squirming and I hear this voice in my head, why ye sit here and die? I don't know who's talking to me. But I'm like, I can't sit still though. Like, when I say the chair felt like it was on fire, like, telling me to get up. So when the sermon was over, I hurried up and went to the car. Matter of fact, I think I walked home that day because the church was right across the street from the house. And I think I walked home. And when my husband got home, I explained, and he was like, he was disturbed. So we ended up leaving the church, right? Anyway, we came to this new church because the leader that was there, was friends with my husband, and they were really, really good friends. And he had invited us to Bible study. And when we got to this Tuesday night Bible study, listen, the topic that was there that he spoke on, I swear me and my husband was hitting each other. Like, I sat behind him, but I was smacking him in the back of the head like, bro, did you hear that? Bro, did you hear that? He was like, babe, hurt. Like, but it was like a confirmation. Like, it was so much confirmation in those couple messages that we heard the first time. And we were like, we're in. So we became members, right? And again, I'm an onion. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get peeled. I'm tired and willing. Those are the 2 words that I carry with me all the time. I'm tired and I'm willing. I'm tired. I need a new change. All this stuff that I'm filling this hole with, it's not working. It's a bunch of garbage. Like, it's just a lot that it's not fulfilling, right? And I'm missing something. Like, I've been in church all my life and I know how to get to God, but I'm so dirty and I'm so strung out. I'm so, like, with life. So I was tired and I was willing. So anyway, so once we got into the church, things started happening. Strange things started happening. My son ended up swallowing a piece of glass, and we were in the hospital for like 2.5, 3 months. And it was scary because the enemy was trying to take him. Like, it just was not going right for me. Like, life was just a disaster. But the people of God that I was around, that God had put us in a place of, and plus our family and everybody else, continue to pray and pray and pray continuously. And, God had brought them out. Thank God. And, that's a testimony that he can tell, that I can tell from, baby. I'm like, listen, you remember that time? And, so after that, we began, going to church Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings, and meeting new people, new relationships. Of course, it took time for everybody to mesh because we're new. We don't know you, you don't know us. It's like a whole new relationship going on. So it took time. Of course, I was jealous of some people. I had envy towards some people because I wanted what they had. Even when I was younger, I did that too. When I saw somebody speaking in tongues, or I saw somebody shouting or giving good news and testimonies and how good God was to them, and I became jealous. I was like, Lord, I want that. I want whatever they got. I want that. But then I had to learn the hard way. I was like, people go through stuff. You don't know what people go through to get their smile or get where they're going, their testimony. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I have my own testimony, and I have my own journey. So anyway, I get to this ministry thanking God for this new start, because this man of God, this woman of God really took me in, like, the way I was. Like, I didn't have to change who I was just to fit in. They took me the way I was. And like I was saying earlier, you can tell when people are praying for you when you're not even in their presence, because you can feel it. So I felt their prayers. I felt the love. I felt everything. And it was amazing. And, years have passed. We've been at this ministry for, Lord, my daughter is 8. So we've been at this ministry for about 8.5 years now. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because I've learned a whole lot. And I've learned how to get my smile back. Like, all those abandoned buildings, all those walls, and all those, all these things that I built up and deserted and left, and, my whole house, which is my body, my whole inside was cleansed, like, through God, of course, and His love and His grace and His mercy and His teachings and His word. And then the people of God that He placed in my life, was able to have their shovels and to have their hammers and nails and, just those building blocks and those building materials to help rebuild me in God. And I finally got my smile back. Like, I'm able to look in the mirror and say, okay, all right, Sean, you got this. Today is God. This day belongs to God. And you're going to make it. You're going to get through whatever you're going through. And I'm going to continue to smile. Like, when I smile at the end of my prayer, that seals it. That just lets the enemy know he ain't won. Like, I'm still standing on my knees. I'm still there. And God got me. So I'm going to need you to get up off me. So, but all that sense being said and done, with my testimony on how, I lost my smile, lost my identity, I lost everything, and I started filling everything else with junk and everything that that wasn't fulfilling to me, everything that was not godly, everything that I just felt like it was gonna help me, but at the end it continued to destroy me. But when I came back to God, and the God that I knew of my parents, the God that I knew of the people of God that was around me, when I finally came back to God, it wasn't like right off the bat when I came to the ministry, but it took years for me to come back to God and allow Him to continue to cleanse me and to continue to build me, because I chose that one day to come say, Lord, come into my life, save me, cleanse me again, over and over again, and continues to repent of all my sins, all of my struggles, even my thoughts, my deeds, and my words that I was spoken against God and the other people of God and the people that don't even know God. I was thinking of stuff, Lord, that I done when I was like 13 and 12. Like, Lord, forgive me for this, and this. Like, don't leave no crazy thing unturned. Like, forgive me for all of that. So again, with all that being said, I finally got the smile back. So my encouragement to you is to get your smile back. Come to God because he has your smile. You know, he has something for you that's going to put a real big smile on your face that's real. You know, that's authentic, that, you know, that can shine like the sun. You know, that can bless somebody's day. When you walk up to them and smile, you have no idea what your smile can do for people. You know, like, no matter what you're going through, what you're going through, smile. Because again, you're still standing on your knees. You know, you're still with God. You know, God still has you. You know what I mean? So, with all that being said, come to God. Gain a relationship with him. Continuously to build that intimate relationship with him. Because it's definitely worth it. It's going to be hard because trials come. But it's going to be definitely worth it because at the end of the day, you know who got your back. You know who got your front and your sides. You know who got your mind. You know who has just your whole being. You know, he cares for you. He has your life in his hands. He knows the plans that he has for you. These plans are not to harm you, but to prosper you, to bring you to a good future, a good ending with him. You know, so again, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. So again, come to God. With all that being said, it's been 25 minutes. I ain't never did a podcast this long, but I just felt like I did the last episode over again. But I would love to hear your story. I would love to see and hear how you got your smile back. How you came through with God. You know, even if you're a beginner in Christ, and we're all still babes in Christ, how God changed your life and how he gave you a smile back. You can reach me on here. You can reach me at Let's Be Real _100 on Instagram. You can find me on Let's Be Real on Facebook. You can email me at beingreal0413@gmail.com. That's B as in boy, EINGREAL 0413@gmail.com. And if you know me personally, you can call me, text me, or whatever, if you want to share your story, because I would love to hear it. Again, this is your girl Sean coming at you again with another episode of Let's Be Real 100%, and we're going to really truly talk about real life, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to Let's Be Real 100%, where we're 100% real about life. We hope that you enjoyed the topic today, and we hope that you trust God more and more each day. And we hope to see you next week.